Good evening, everyone. I'd like to begin by saying, folks, I've made some bad choices in my life. Let me tell you a story. When I was 16 years old, some friends and I decided that we wanted to go joyriding. Problem was, none of us had a car. So we came up with this brilliant idea to borrow someone else's car. Well, make a long story short, the car that we chose never moved, and yours truly was the only one arrested for car theft. My name is Chuck Wilson, and folks, that was a bad choice. But I'm willing to bet that there's some people here in the live audience, as well as those watching by live stream, who've probably made some choices that they regret as well. You see, choices have two very distinct paths. One path leads to a sense of failure, and the other, a sense of defeatedness. But here's the thing. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about three words that I think, when used together, choices, habits, and success, or CHS for short, they can not only allow us to make better choices, but also allow us to be the best versions of ourselves in 2021. Let's talk a little bit more about choices. Now, choice is defined as making a decision when faced with two or more possibilities. Some quick facts about choices. During our lifetimes, we're going to make over 770,000 choices. Now, that's the good news. The not so good news is 143,000 of those choices, or roughly 20%, are going to be ones that we regret. So, as I talk about choice, it reminds me of the fact that you can't allow feelings to dictate your choices. So, let me give you an example. I like to work out. And I work out 6 days a week, regularly. But here's the thing. If you would ask me how many days I feel like working out, let's just put it like this. It wouldn't be 6. 1, possibly 2. And on a rare occasion, I feel like working out 3 times a week. Folks, many of us are allowing our feelings to drive the choices that we make. And that leads me to CHS principle number 1. And that's that good choices should never be driven by feelings, but by the pursuit of accomplishment. Let's talk a little bit about habits. Now, habit is defined as a regular tendency or practice. And watch this, one that's especially hard to give up. So, I have a confession to make. Y'all, I like chocolate chip cookies. In fact, I like chocolate chip cookies so much that I can eat an entire family pack in 25 minutes or less. Now, I see many of you all are saying, and you're like, oh, okay. Folks, that's a bad habit. I just essentially bragged to you all and told you I work out 6 days a week. But as soon as I eat that last cookie, okay, this is safe space. As soon as I eat that 10th cookie, I have sabotaged any progress that I made working out that week. There are so many of us that are sabotaging ourselves with bad habits. So, what's the remedy? What can we do about that? Well, before I tell you that, I need you to understand the law of least effort. And this law states that we will choose habits that offer the highest amount of value but require the least amount of effort. Sound familiar? Several years ago, I decided that I wanted to become a regular reader. So I instituted what I like to call the 5 and 5 rule. I committed to reading 5 pages a day, 5 days a week, with this stipulation, that I couldn't do anything leisurely, i.e. watch television, until I had fulfilled my reading commitment. 3 weeks later, I was a regular reader, and I've been a regular reader ever since. And that transitions us to CHS principle number 2, and that's that good habits are ones that can be done easily, on a regular basis, and provide positive reinforcement. 5 pages, easy, 5 days a week, regular. I get to watch TV, positive reinforcement. So let's come down the home stretch and talk about success. Now, success is defined as the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. But there are 2 aspects of success that I really want to hone in on because I think they're very underrated. 1, success is defined differently for each of us. And 2, the path that we take to reach that success is equally as different. You see, we all have different purposes. And because we have different purposes, that means that our gifts and our talents are going to vary. And because there's variance in our gifts and talents, that means that our passions and our interests are going to be different as well. So as we're headed down that path to reach our success, it is vitally important. Now watch this. It is vitally important that we not compare ourselves to other people along the way. How many times have we admonished children or students for comparing themselves to other students, only to turn around and do the exact same thing in our own lives? And I use students very intentionally because they're going to be the foundation of the example that I want to use to really drive home this point. So let's just take student A. For student A, success might be defined as getting through the school day without any major problems. Student B, success for that person may be getting an A on an exam that they've been studying for. While student C, for that student, maybe just getting to school that day may be the definition of success. Now, I know the natural human default tendency is to create this hierarchy with examples like that. But the fact of the matter is that each and every one of those students were successful. It was just different. So that lands us on CHS principle number 3. Folks, we must choose and define what success means for us. And then, and only then, are we prepared to implement the habits that will lead us there. Folks, my name is Chuck Wilson, and I'm the Choice Navigator. And my hope for you is that you will make fantastic choices that lead to excellent habits, and that as a result, you will see much success. Thank you so much for listening.